best limit. Oh, yeah.
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
$500,000.
The FLW Championship.
From Arkansas.
Lake Hamilton.
Down here in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I'm fishing for $500,000.
Five best limit.
$500,000.
$500,000.
There's a lot on the line. $500,000.
Walmart FLW Championship. Forestdale Wood Championship.
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Five best limit. $500,000.
The FLW Championship.
Stick a fork in him. He's done. Five best limit. $500,000. We have a champion.
Don't change that channel.
That's what I'm talking about. Who's your daddy? Damn. Look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Holy cow. There he is, folks. Your champion. $500,000, Richard.
Created in 1932, Lake Hamilton, one of Arkansas's most popular bodies of water, surrounded by spectacular homes and luxurious resorts. But for this week, the only thing on the minds of the residents that occupy its shores is that their lake is playing host to the richest bass fishing tournament in the world. From Hot Springs, Arkansas, it's the $1.5 million Forestdale Wood Championship presented by Castrol. Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Leibowitz, along with Charlie Evans. This is the event we've been waiting for all year long, the richest in the sport of bass fishing. We started with a field of 48. We're now down to 24 in one of the most unique formats in the sport.
The Forestdale Wood Championship has a bracket-style competition. It's man on man. One survives and moves on, one is eliminated, so half the field is gone. We'll do the same thing again today. 24 out, 12 will move on.
The format has held true to form. As a matter of fact, the top 4 seeds have moved on, including our Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney.
He could win that $500,000 again. All you got to do is defeat 13 anglers, one in round 1, one in round 2, then against 11 others in the final round.
And so the pressure is on this morning. Only half the anglers starting today will be here for the final round tomorrow. The mood here is upbeat, but the anglers never forget the high stakes they're fishing for. This is the semifinal round and the last day of head-to-head competition. You're looking at Mike Hawks, who will be facing J.T. Kinney.
You know, I had a good bag yesterday, but so did Mike, so I'm going to catch everything I can catch. And my best area there, I mean, there's a ton of fish in it, so I don't think I can hurt it very bad.
This is Matt Herron here for the 3rd year in a row. He has never made it to the final round, and he'll have to beat Alton Jones to get there.
Really going to come down to getting a big bite. I think I need a 3-pound bite to advance. And so I'm going to spend my whole day fishing for that one bite, and hopefully I'll catch a limit of at least small ones along the way, and I want that one quality bite to make all the difference.
Here's Toshinari Namiki, this year's Angler of the Year runner-up. He'll be fighting for his survival against BF Goodrich pro Chad Grigsby.
Yeah, I can beat him. I mean, I can beat anybody out here, but you have to take advantage of the bites you get out here because it's been tough. So as long as you don't make any mistakes, that's the whole key out here. So it should be good.
So far, it's been great. We started the competition with the 48 best pros on our tour. They went head-to-head for the first 2 days, and the winner in each bracket advanced. 24 anglers go head-to-head today. The winner from today's round move on to the final tomorrow, where it's every man for himself. The heaviest one-day catch tomorrow will win $500,000. But today, the co-anglers will be vying for a $25,000 top prize. So 24 co-anglers, with the winner being decided by the day's heaviest catch.
The Forestdale Wood Championship has a unique bracket-style format where anglers face just one opponent rather than competing against the entire field. You just have to beat the guy they're paired against to advance to the final round.
And here are today's matchups, and as you can see, the #1 seed, Greg Hackney, is taking on the 24th seed, Larry Nixon. Both the #1 and 2 seeds are still alive in this competition.
Takeoff is from the Arkansas Game and Fish Hatchery ramp. They're heading out onto Lake Hamilton. Not a huge lake, but it fishes really big. A lot of cover out there. 2 predominant patterns: deep brush piles or shallow fishing up around the boat docks.
State of Arkansas sits just on top of Louisiana. About an hour from the state capital of Little Rock, Lake Hamilton is formed by an impoundment of the Ouachita River. It's small by tournament standards, only about 7,200 acres. but it is full of places for fish to hide and very challenging for our anglers. 7-Up Pro JT Kinney is at work with his co-angler Frank Meyer. On the Garmin GPS, you can see they're on the main lake under the Highway 7 bridge. And what a year it was for JT Kinney. He started off red hot in Florida and continued his streak throughout the year until the final event of the season on his home water. He couldn't close the Angler of the Year deal, but still qualified for the championship.
You know, anytime you make the championship, you know, you're happy to be here. It's a big deal. I mean, you beat, you know, 3/4 of the field throughout the year, so, you know, just to make it here and have a chance to win $500,000, I mean, that's a big deal.
In round one, it was a 2-day domination for JT Kinney over the 21-year-old newcomer, Michael Bennett.
He caught limits both days, 5 bass on day 1 that weighed 5 pounds 3 ounces, and then a better day 2, 5 that weighed 8 pounds 11 ounces.
Today, JT is up against Mike Hawks, who beat Mark Rose to make it here to the semifinal round. Kinney and Hawks were just an ounce apart over the first 2 days.
Fishing under the Highway 7 bridge.
There he is.
He's got a lot of shade and cover for the bass. Finesse fishing, light lines, small baits, putting keepers in the boat, that's what counts.
And JT said that he's got an area that's holding a lot of fish. He doesn't think he can wear out this area if he goes there each and every morning to start his day. Over now to the Lowry's boat, which pro Anthony Gagliardi is sharing with Aussie co-angler Kim Bain. And Anthony got by Dan Moorhead in the first round. Gagliardi, the 3rd seed in the Forest Elwood Championship. He's now facing Zell Rowland in this round. And Anthony has long been considered one of the most consistent anglers on the Walmart FLW Tour, and he's had a fantastic season. From Prosperity, South Carolina, his 4th championship. He was 3rd last year. It's Anthony Gagliardi.
I was really coming into this year just hoping to do well enough to keep myself in the championship with all the other stuff going on, but it's kind of really been a shock to have done this well so far. Anything can happen in this sport. There's a bite right there. You know, I always take it one day at a time, and I don't like to take things for granted when I'm out here on the water. You know, that win at Kentucky Lake was just it was a big confidence boost, and it let me know that this is what I need to be doing, this is what I want to do. And my girlfriend was there, and it wasn't that long before that. We were just talking about getting married, and as soon as I win one, you know, I'll buy you a ring. And about that ring for probably the next month. So I had to break down, and I broke down and got her one. My goal coming into the season was just to make top 50s and put some money away. And winning the trophy this year, it would be extremely special. You know, I've gotten to a point in my career that I'm starting to think about the stuff like that, the trophies and the prestige. And $500,000 would be, I mean, that's the biggest difference in the world right now for me. And I probably wouldn't have to be quite so conservative. And I'd probably be more willing to do something a little bit different and take a chance to just go for broke.
And Anthony's going for broke here. $500,000 on the line. Charlie looking for fish number 1.
Fishing for schooling bass using a soft plastic top water bait, and he's got one hooked up here. These fish are chasing minnows out there. That soft plastic jerk bait, great imitation. He's got a good keeper on board.
It might stretch well. I caught a lot of 11.5 inches yesterday. Hi, I'm Anthony Gagliardi. I'm fishing for $500,000. Make sure you come back.
We're in the semifinal round of the Forest Elwood Championship. Head-to-head action today as the pro field is narrowed from 24 anglers down to 12. And Toshinari Namiki is fishing with his co-angler Russell Burrows. Today they are fishing out of the Castrol boat. And this year Namiki picked a heck of a way to break out. 4 top 10s out of 6 events, including a win at the Washita River. He pocketed $100,000 for that victory. He was vying for the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year title as well. It came down to the final day of the final event of the season to decide our Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year champion, but it was Greg Hackney who hoisted the award. Namiki, as always, gracious, finishing 2nd place. And in his first round matchup against Vic Vadalero, the 2nd seed did move on, and today he'll face Chad Grigsby.
He qualified for the 2003 championship where he finished 32nd. He's already done better than that here in fishing for schooling bass.
I don't know. Or might be keeper or net, please.
Looking for some co-angler help.
Maybe keeper.
I believe so.
Yeah.
1 pounder in the boat for Namiki, again fishing a topwater bait for schooling bass out in the center of the lake, away from structure. Got to be at least 12 inches long to qualify.
Yeah, just keep on.
And that one will measure out, go into the live well, and we move over to Namiki's competition. It's BF Goodrich pro Chad Grigsby from Colon, Michigan. He got by Jeremiah Kidney in the first round. Kidney is an Arkansas native and was a fan favorite. He pulled out a huge fish and looked to take command of the competition against Grigsby, but Chad had an answer for him.
I kind of feel fortunate that I was in the right bracket because a lot of guys, like my buddy Bobby, had 14 or 15 pounds and didn't make it. I only had 9 and made it.
Unfortunately, he's matched against the number 2 angler on the tour. He'll have to fish perfectly today or hope Namiki stumbles. He's fishing a buzzbait, topwater bait, makes a lot of noise. He's got one hooked up.
Net.
Yeah.
Yes. That'll work.
Good solid 2.5 pounder caught on topwater. It's working for him.
Chad Grigsby had 2 top 10 finishes earlier this season, and Chad is looking to make his first final at the FLW Tour Championship. Now back over to 7-Up pro JT Kinney, who is looking for his 5th keeper of the day, still fishing under the Highway 7 bridge.
Fish don't like direct sunlight. They love the shade that this bridge provides. Got some current there. He's catching good keeper fish there. This makes his 5 bass limit. Now he needs to go and try to get a kicker fish, a bigger fish, to move him out ahead of Mike Hawes.
Here are Dean Rojas and his co-angler Roger Hester fishing out of the Kellogg's boat, and Dean notched up a commanding win over Todd Faircloth during the first 2 days of this event, sending the 11th ranked Faircloth packing. Dean has been on quality fish, and despite the possibility of winning $500,000, he's staying focused.
For me, I'm really not thinking about the money. I want to go out and perform and qualify to each round and then make it to the final round. Because what happens is you get on the water, you start thinking about that money, and you start to stray from what you're doing.
Today's semifinal match pits Dean against championship first-timer Danny Correa.
Dean has been catching quality fish. He's got one hooked up here. Headed toward the boat in a hurry.
Yes.
In the net.
Yeah. On the frog. Yeah.
He's using a topwater frog that he designed.
Dean Rojas, always a threat to win any competition.
Hi, I'm Dean Rojas, and come watch me fish for $500,000 at the Walmart FLW Championship.
Here's the trophy our anglers are vying for, the Forrest Elwood Championship trophy to be awarded to our winner. And one of just 24 pros left in the game is Alton Jones. And he's working the lake with his co-angler Todd Lee. And in the bracket system of this tournament, Alton is fishing against Matt Herron in today's semifinal. It does not matter what anyone else does, they just have to beat one another.
It's really going to come down, I think, to between Matt and I who gets the big bite. I think I've got a good chance maybe to catch a limit. And I haven't had that 4 or 5 pound bite yet, so hopefully my number will come up.
Alton looking for his first ever FLW Tour win.
There's a good one. Get the net. There's a good fish. It's a big one. It's a big fish. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, please stay on, baby. I am. I got a big one here. Not a big one for Lake Guntersville, but for Lake Hamilton, it's a dandy. Whew. Yeah. Congratulations.
Great job with Alton Jones here again. He's not finesse fishing, he's power fishing. That big bait casting rod and reel, got it bait down in that brush pile using a ribbon tail worm. Again, with a Texas rig weight, this gets down deep, gets down there fast, and attracts bites right in the middle of the brush pile.
You know, one like that on Lake Hamilton goes a really long way. Hopefully I'll catch a limit in the process of doing it. That's number 2 here now.
Great job by Alton Jones. Here's Chevy Pro Larry Nixon at the front of the boat, his co-angler Eric Fulton in the back. Larry, one of the most accomplished anglers in the history of the sport, had a heck of a battle in round 1 with the young gun, Bobby Lane. Larry took a big lead early on. Bobby fought his way back, only to see Larry take charge at the end and move on. So Bobby Lane, after a fantastic rookie season, is eliminated. Larry Nixon only needs to beat one more angler to move on.
You know, you just really don't know how much it would mean for me to win the FLW Championship. You know, that trophy's awesome. $500,000 would be great, be nice, but you know, the thought of winning another championship at my age would just be tremendous.
Larry Nixon, with over $2 million in career earnings, has got one on.
He's also finesse fishing, spinning rod and reel, light line. Take his time with the fish. Need to get in the net, he's got it. Good, solid keeper, 2-pounder, that'll help.
Larry Nixon is also an Arkansas native from Bee Branch, Arkansas. And while he's here in Hot Springs, he's staying with very close friend George Cochran, who has a house on Lake Hamilton. The two of them have shared water all week long. And Larry is also going up against a very hot angler, the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney, the #1 seed, who got by Sam Newby in round 1. And Hackney is on board with his co-angler Matt Airy. They're working hard to find the elusive Lake Hamilton bass, but it's something that Greg Hackney has been good at all season long. He is the #1 ranked bass angler in the world and the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, the different Greg Hackney.
Won the Angler of the Year in everything I've ever fished but a tour. I was second in this last year. I don't like second anymore. The only way I'm gonna be satisfied here is to win the Angler of the Year title.
Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney.
Look at all them zeros on there. Angler of the Year. That's really the only thing I had on my mind. It's great to win a tournament, but I'll have another shot at that. But these Angler of the Year deals just don't, you know, the fishermen are so good now, they just don't come around that often. I really wanted that. Friday, it was a mess, you know, and I started feeling the pressure about lunch. I'd lost a bunch of big fish, and I was like, don't let this slip through your hands. It's been horrible today. Every time I get a bite, I miss it. It's horrible. I talk to my father every night. Every time I'd get down or I wouldn't catch them for a minute, I'd think, you know, what Daddy said, just overcome it. And I'd just fish that much harder. Namiki, I can't say enough about him.
Nice 4-pounder.
You know, I mean, I was so glad that I was ahead of him coming into this tournament, you know, because I don't like to get beat. I think it looks better over here. I may be doing just a little better job than I did yesterday. About middle of the day, I thought I had enough then, and like 10 minutes before we leave, I catch another one in coil, and I'm like, I got enough. We may be fixing to be on the box of Kellogg's. So when we got to the bank, I don't know, I started looking at everybody, and I was the only one smiling. I'm pretty laid back, you know, and I don't say a lot, you know, I'm a pretty quiet guy. Today I was like, well, I don't care anymore. I'm the man. I'm fixing to win this thing. I knew I was.
Back now to Hackney, and he is working very quickly along the banks here.
And a quick hook set.
Don't need the net, don't need the net.
No net needed at all. That fish was in the boat before he even knew he was hooked. Greg fast and furious trying to get a limit in the boat.
And this is keeper #1 for him. As we look through the Chevy cap cam, you can see Greg Hackney wasting no time getting this fish on board.
He's wasting no time anywhere. He's got his Minn Kota trolling motor on high, parallel on the bank, trying to cover as much territory as he possibly can.
And with this much money at stake, time is so precious. This is Tyson Pro Tracy Adams working the shoreline with his co-angler Terry Chapman. Tracy just managed to squeak into the top 48, but he's doing very well in this event. Today he is facing Fuji Pro Wesley Strader, a 7-time championship qualifier who topped rookie Art Berry in the opening round. And Adams is still looking for his first keeper of the day.
There he is. Yeah, come on.
Good solid keeper into the boat. He's working down the shoreline, picking apart every single piece of cover that he can find.
Not too big, but we'll take him.
Today they'll take any keepers they can get. This has been a tough tournament, and the pressure is increasing as the clock ticks down. Come on back for more action on Walmart FLW Outdoors. Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's not only home to our championship on Lake Hamilton, it is a fascinating town in its own right. Earlier this week, we asked local angler and Walmart FLW Tour rookie Scott Suggs to show us around.
When you come to Hot Springs, Arkansas, you've got to come to McLard's.
McLard's Barbecue.
It's the best barbecue in the world. We're fixing to go in now and try some of these ribs.
We've got a lot of real good hogs in Arkansas.
World famous. Good taste here, too. Old Jones, the Cowboys, Coach Nutt of the Razorbacks. There's Elvis, Jeremiah Kendi. Their heights are about the same and their legs are made a lot the same. Speaking of Jeremiah, let's go find him and see what he's up to. Oh, man.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah Kendi. We're going to show you a little bit of downtown Hot Springs and show you where we grew up. Come on, let's go see it.
Let's go. Sounds fun. You'll be making... Oh, shoot. You'll make... Hey, we're fixing to go in here and get some portraits taken? Dog, you're a backstabber. Let's get out of here. We're here at Oakline. It's some of the best horse racing in the country right here at Hot Spring. It's the finish line right there where Smarty Jones crossed it here for the Arkansas Derby. Size-wise, you know, Jeremiah kind of resembles that race. Smarty was a smaller horse. Hey, Jeremiah, here we are at the tire.
Let's go, buddy.
Let's go, man.
Hey, did I ever tell you I was scared of heights?
Are you really?
I'm fixing to throw up.
Weigh-in for the FLW is going to be right down the convention center.
Let's go.
This is Bathhouse Row. People have been coming here since the 1800s. I think after a long day fishing, we need to go take a bath. What do you think, buddy?
Hey, I'm in. Let's go.
Tell you what, I think those guys are having too much fun. Fishing in his first championship, a great accomplishment for a rookie. Scott Suggs has co-angler Bob Forklin on the back of his Kellogg's boat today. The Arkansas native, Scott Suggs, is competing against Chip Harrison in this semifinal. They are the number 12 and 13 seeds who are facing each other today after surviving tough round one matchup.
Scott Suggs fishing in open water after schooling fish, got one hooked up, and it came off.
Yeah. Unhook me there, son of a gun.
Cannot afford to miss any fish here when the competition's this tough.
Here's Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan with his co-angler Trevor Jenks on board. Andy defeated Gary Yamamoto in a first-round upset, the 42nd seed moving past the 7th seed, and Andy facing another upset winner, John Murray, in this round. And Andy Morgan just caught his first fish a few moments ago, and now his co-angler is hooked up.
Yes, that is a big one. Take your time. Take your time, son.
Good advice from the pro to the co-angler.
You got him. He's pegged.
Yeah!
Good night alive.
Andy Morgan wished he had that monster.
That's the biggest bass in here.
Look at that one. The old shaky head stuck him right in the top of the head. Look at that.
That is going to be tough to beat by another co-angler. Here's Takahiro Omori in his 6th championship appearance. He's got a co-angler, Robert Blosser, on board. Takahiro's up against Mickey Bruce. They finished the opening round with almost identical weights. For Tak, bass fishing has been a lifelong passion, but he's had to move from Japan to the U.S. to make it his profession.
Well, I was 9 when I started bass fishing. You guys work hard too. Everybody working hard. But still, we don't have a big tournament in Japan. So. That was a feeding time. You know that? If somebody want to be the pro fisherman, you gotta come to America. Oh, maybe I'm dreaming right here. I just really love it to do this. And I'm not here to do all commercial and the media stuff. Hey, I'm fishing for the 500,000. I think this is like Chinese type. We have this kind of stuff too. I never seen a Chinese fishing tournament. You? Well, I'm more kind of like intense on the water, but off the water, I'm more easy to access. I never seen Korean fishing tournament. No, Japanese love to fish tournament. I don't want to get a job. Of course I want to win it. I don't want to get work. It's lots of money. I don't like to see boss. I just like to fish. Then you wake up.
The Bassmaster Classic in 2004. He loved the Forest Elwood Championship to go along with that, and he's got keeper number 1 on.
Nice one. Jeez.
He's just running the boat.
Yes, thank you.
Better man.
Yes!
Good, solid 2-pound keeper. Great way to start the day. He made the final cut in 2002. He's trying to make the finals again here.
Back now to Chevy Pro Larry Nixon, and on the Garmin GPS, you can see that he is fishing an inlet in the central part of the lake, looking for keeper number 2.
Got one hooked up here. This will be his second keeper of the day. He needs every single fish he can get, fishing against one of the toughest anglers in the world, Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney.
And the fish we saw Larry Nixon catch in round 1 when he eliminated Bobby Lane were much bigger than the ones we're seeing him land right now. He's going to have to keep the pressure on if he is going to get past the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year. And here's Greg Hackney on the move, still searching for the big ones. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back to a challenging day of fishing here on Lake Hamilton in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Charlie, here we have 24 of the best bass anglers in the world vying for the richest purse in the sport of bass fishing, and Lake Hamilton is bringing some of them to their knees.
With water temperatures in the mid-80s, conditions are tough. Fish aren't really aggressive. They have to use all their skills here. It could come down to ounces to see who advances.
Here's Hot Springs native and Ranger pro George Cochran looking to advance, and he is not here for second place. Today he needs to get by Brent Chapman as he did in the first round in getting by Sandy Melvin. Cochran is not going to get complacent.
You're fishing against 48 of the best fishermen in the world, and all these guys, there's not a loser among them, and they're all great fishermen. And I would be tickled to death to finish second or third, but when you get this close to winning the championship, to me, I'm going for the win.
George Cochran wants to win here, especially because his home is on this lake.
He knows this water well, has fished it many times before, got a good solid fish hooked up here. George fishing with a top water bait this time. Bait that makes a lot of noise on top, spits out a lot of water out in front of it. Really worked for him here, got a good solid keeper in the boat. Got to get it unhooked, get it in the live well, get out there and get another one. George Cochran, his third fish of the day.
And after 15 years of living here, George knows what works. He's been throwing a buzzbait for much of this event and has been very successful. Castro Pro David Dudley shows us how it's done in today's Fishing 101, presented by Field & Stream.
Here at the FLW Championship, a lot of anglers have had a lot of success using buzz baits. Now there's two different types of buzz baits. There's loud clicking buzz baits and you have quiet buzz baits. If you're in muddy water, most anglers like to use a loud clicking buzz bait. And if you're in clear water, you want to try to go to a little bit of a quieter buzz bait. The retrieve is probably the most important thing with a buzz bait. Most people want to take a buzz bait and throw it out there. They love watching it come across the water, nice and fast, and it's all noisy and stuff, but that's not what catches fish. The slower you can retrieve your buzz bait, the better off you're going to be. It's just a longer period of time for that noise to irritate the fish and for him to come up and bite it. I hope these few simple tips helps you anglers catch more fish on buzz baits.
Thank you, David. Here's Dean Rojas, who is having a very good day under very difficult conditions. He's got two keepers in the boat already, looking for number 3.
Got him. Get the net. Yes! Yeah! Look at that sucker. Look at that. Gone.
Swallowed the bait completely. That means he's really going after it. He's got a bait that's working.
It's working, but this could change things. Bad weather moving in. Charlie, what kind of impact is this going to have on the fishing?
It will definitely change what's going on out there. The barometric pressure will change. The wind intensity and direction will change. Everything is going to change. They'll have to adapt.
For now, things are still quiet around Danny Correa, who is up against Rojas. And like all of these anglers, he'll put up with whatever Mother Nature throws at him. And Danny's really just happy to be here. In fact, he did not qualify for our championship until the final event of the regular season on the Potomac. And here he is now in the second round of our championship after knocking off the 14th seed, Cody Bird, in round 1. And yes, Charlie, Danny Correa just thrilled to be here at the championship.
And he's got one hooked up here. Take your time, don't want to lose any fish, into the boat. His third keeper of the day. Again, 5 bass limit is what he's shooting for. He's got 3, he needs 2 more. And they need to be big fish because the man he's competing against, Dean Rojas, is catching quality fish.
We're looking now here at a very wet Tracy Adams. He managed to get 1 fish into the boat before this rain started. This is a little bit earlier.
I'll take him, though.
They'll take anything they can get out here today. The rain is definitely going to dampen the spirits of some of our anglers. Half of them will be eliminated this afternoon. But despite the conditions, if you want to win this tournament, you have got to stick it out. A demanding competition here at the Forrest Elwood Championship. We're back after this. The past winners of the Forrest Elwood Championship were honored here this week. Among them was John Sappington. His 2002 championship win is today's Castrol Flashback.
Oh my gosh.
John Sappington is a born fisherman, and in 2002, he was at the top of his game.
Look at that bass.
What an event to win $260,000 at the Walmart FLW Tour Championship.
Yeah, if you're going to win one, this is the one to win.
The title made him famous and rich. But 2 years later, he nearly lost it all.
I was going down the intercoastal waterway. All of a sudden, I see a spray of water. I remember my last thought, and, you know, and that was that there was a cable, you know. I didn't think I was dead, no. I didn't think I was dead. When I woke up, I wasn't fishing, and so I knew I wasn't in heaven.
Not in heaven, but he was wearing a halo. John had collided at high speed with a ferry cable. His neck was broken at the base of his skull, and he spent the next 11 months in this metal brace. With the help of his family, he made a miraculous recovery, and this champion is now fishing once again. And here's a look at all the past winners of the Forrest Elwood Championship and the rise in prize money as well. In 2001, the championship was canceled because of 9/11. Here's a guy hoping to be the next champion, Greg Hackney.
I waited on it. Make sure he had it.
You can't afford to do that in this championship.
He got it the instant it hit the water. Just like he was supposed to.
Here now is Larry Nixon.
Wow, what a hook set. He's swinging for the fences here.
What a disgusting deal. I just knew that was that big bass.
He was expecting a big one.
Ain't that a bummer, you little bitty.
Back over now to Toshinori Namiki. The last time we saw him, there were waves washing over the front of his deck.
Conditions have changed once again. They've got to adapt to those changes in conditions. He's got one hooked up here on a topwater bait, trying to get it into the net.
Okay, thank you.
Finally into the net. Keeper number 5 for Toshi, but they're all small fish. If he's going to beat Chad Grigsby, he's got to find a kicker fish, a bigger fish, up his weight.
That fish will measure out, and we'll go over to the BF Goodrich Pro. Namiki's worrying about him. He's worrying about Namiki. Only one of them's going to survive and advance to the finals. Chad throwing a buzz bait. Let's take a look at how a buzz bait comes across the water through our FSN animation.
A buzzbait is a very effective topwater lure. It produces a lot of noise, vibration, and flash as it buzzes across the top of the water, creating a lot of turbulence, and the bass below can't help but come up and get it.
Here now is one of the old guard. Mickey Bruce finished 5th in last year's championship. He faced Greg Pugh in the opening round this time and ran away with it, almost a 6-pound victory to move on. And Mickey trying to advance to the final round for the 2nd year in a row.
As well as Anthony Gagliardi, who was also top 12 last year. Got one hooked up here.
He may, look at this bait he's throwing out. He may get rid of Junior, sure enough. Believe it or not, this one might call one.
Might gain an ounce or two for Mickey, again fishing for schooling bass out over open water.
And that is it. Time is up. 24 boats are going to head to the ramp. Only 12 will go back out tomorrow. There's Dean Rojas. He's looking happy. In just a little while, he could move one step closer to the $500,000 first prize. We're going to go to the weigh-in when Walmart FLW Outdoors continues from Lake Hamilton after this. More excitement coming your way on FSN when Walmart FLW Outdoors takes to the open water with 2 great saltwater tours. Watch Team 5 for big bucks on the $1.7 million Walmart FLW Kingfish Tour. And don't miss the Walmart FLW Redfish Series. 2-man teams take a shot at a championship title worth $100,000. More excitement, more action each week, and it all starts August 21st on FSN. Welcome back to the greatest show in bass fishing, the Forrest Elwood Championship in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Today's competition is over. The weigh-in is about to begin. But first, the winner you voted for.
Big one, giant.
The Eagle Claw Hook Set Award from the Chevy Open goes to Mike Iaconelli. Mike wins a $1,000 Walmart shopping cart.
Yeah!
Thanks to all the fans who voted online.
Yeah!
The entire field is converging on the Arkansas Game and Fish Hatchery ramp here for check-in. And now that the season is almost over, we wondered what the pros thought of it. Their favorite moments in today's edition of Ask the Angler.
What are the most memorable moments from 2005?
6-pounder I caught at Okeechobee. I made a pitch probably 30 feet in the air and caught that 6, day 3, put me in the lead.
When I caught my Snickers big bass.
At Beaver Lake, I lost a fish. I bounced him off the windshield, cost me $100,000.
My most memorable moment was in January down at Lake Okeechobee when I finally got to come back to fishing.
Being able to see Adam Isaac, to see him healthy and alive, and to be able to take him out my boat, I look back at that as the best thing that happened this year.
My most memorable moment of the season was watching David Dudley dance.
Cheeky with it!
We went and did a little bit of touring around Rogers, Arkansas, and we had the best time. It was a blast.
Probably coming from Lake Wheeler all the way to the Potomac on that Sea-Doo. Guys, that was a tough deal.
When Art Berry said that all day he thinks about me while he's on the water, it's so flattering. I didn't know guys think about me like that.
Hey, you know, we all got our moments.
Without a doubt, my favorite moment of the 2005 season was winning 100 big ones at Lake Okeechobee.
3 top 10s I had this year, and then finally getting a win. That's been a goal of mine I've had for some time now.
My buddy JT Kinney finally doing something with his career.
Greg Hackney taking the Angler of the Year title.
Without a doubt, Bobby Lane going from a nobody to a somebody.
That's the most memorable moments of 2005.
We might create a few more memorable moments here at the Hot Springs Convention Center and Summit Arena. This is where the weigh-in happens, and inside, a capacity crowd of thousands waiting to see who will advance to tomorrow's finals. But first up, the co-anglers. And Trevor Jenks emerged as the man on top. He brought 3 fish weighing 6 pounds, 10 ounces to the scale, and they were enough. Trevor Jenks is a co-angler champion and $25,000 richer. All of the co-angler finalists win prizes just for making it this far. It's an incredible feat of sportsmanship, determination, and skill. Now, the stage is set for today's big show. The 24 pros left in the game will be narrowed to 12. In a head-to-head competition, Takahiro Omori goes against FLW veteran Mickey Bruce.
He has one more left, but he needs a real good fish, a better fish, but I'm not sure it'll get it. He's got a limit here that weighs in at 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Takahiro moves on. Mickey Bruce is eliminated.
A great day for Takahiro Omori. He made it to the championship finals once before in 2002, and he's there again. Now, these head-to-head weigh-ins are always exciting. Anglers facing each other, not the entire field, and we're just getting started. Dean Rojas will try to advance when we come back. Welcome back to Hot Springs, Arkansas, in the semifinal weigh-in of the Four-Star Wood Championship, the richest tournament in bass fishing. Anglers fish head-to-head today, and they don't have to beat the whole field, just one other guy to advance to the finals. Scott Suggs has just 2 fish weighing 2 pounds, 3 ounces. And he's up against Chip Harrison, who has a limit, 5 fish weighing 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Chip Harrison moves on to the final round. Next up, Dean Rojas against Danny Correa. Danny weighs in 4 fish, tipping the scales at 3 pounds, 11 ounces. Now it's Dean's turn.
And he has got 4 keepers. Looking pretty good. You got number 5?
No, I only got 4 today, Charlie.
I think that's enough, though. The raw weight here, 8 pounds, 9 ounces. Danny Correa is eliminated. Dean Rojas moves on.
And the Yamaha Pro's going to get a shot at a $500,000. Here's Toshinari Namiki facing Chad Grigsby. Toshi has a 4-pound, 10-ounce limit. But the BF Goodrich Pro does him 3 pounds better, and Chad Grigsby moves on. Toshi is eliminated. Next, it's hometown hero George Cochran facing off against Brent Chapman. George lays down a limit weighing 5 pounds, 15 ounces. But while Chapman brings a big fish to the scale, it is not enough to get by the hometown hero, and George Cochran moves on to the final round. Mike Hawks looks worried as he puts his 4-pound, 10-ounce limit on the scale. He's up against 7-Up Pro JT Kinney.
Number 4, that helps, and let's see, he's reaching for a 5 bass limit. That's trouble for you, Mike, and he's got it. A limit for 7-Up Pro JT Kinney.
JT moves on to his first ever final round. When Tracy Adams and Wesley Strader get up on stage, Wesley, the Fujifilm Pro, takes over with a 7-pound limit, knocking out Tracy Adams. Wesley moves on. Matt Herron and Alton Jones are next on the scales. And despite Herron's great first-round catches, this time it's all Alton Jones. And he moves on to the finals as well. Next, Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney, facing 7-time championship qualifier Larry Nixon. This, again, is a face-off. They only need to beat each other to move on. Larry has just 3 fish in his bag.
That's all.
3 fish for Larry Nixon, 4 pounds, 3 ounces for 3. All right, his second FLW top 10 this year, Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year. So Larry's sitting there at 4.3, needed more.
That's it.
1 fish for Greg Hackney, 1 pound, 4 ounces. Larry Nixon survives and advances. Greg Hackney is eliminated.
And tomorrow, everything will be on the line. 12 anglers, every man for himself. The heaviest one-day catch takes home the biggest prize in bass fishing. $500,000 at stake. Walmart FLW Outdoors continues. The entire season comes down to this one last day. The top 48 anglers in the world began this tournament, but now only 12 remain, all shooting for the biggest prize in the sport, $500,000. The stakes are as high as they will ever get. Each athlete is on their own today. Everyone has an equal chance to take home the big prize. And old veterans will face young guns like JT Kinney.
The last 2 days, I think I had the heaviest weight, of everybody. So catch 5 keepers off my bridge and then just put a buzzbait on and go cover as much ground as I can and, try to catch a couple big ones. That's what it's going to take. If you have 5 and you get 1 or 2 good bites, like I've done the last couple days, I think it's going to be enough.
I just don't need to make any mistakes. A mistake out here today will cost you a lot of money.
As for the veterans, they're not giving anything away. Some of them have been here before, but none of them have ever won it. And they're not afraid of the new faces.
I don't think any one of them thinks that I can't win. And but yeah, it's time for the old dog to win another one. I think we have the advantage because we'll use our head more, and we know what Larry knows, and I know what it takes to win. And so I'm gonna go out there and try and put together a good day where I can win this tournament.
Every one of these anglers has what it takes to win: skill, strategy, and dog determination. But only one of them can be the champion. These competitors have traveled thousands of miles to 6 major events this season just to earn a shot at the big money right here. They endured 3 days of the most challenging fishing we have seen all season long. And now they have one last chance at $500,000. It's full speed ahead right from the start. There is no looking back and not a moment to lose. It's a game of ounces with split-second precision. The fishing will be tough, the conditions punishing, and the anglers are the best in the world. Join us next time for the conclusion of the 2005 Forrest Elwood Championship from Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Springs, Arkansas.
5 bass limit, $500,000.
The FLW Championship.
Stick a fork in him, he's done. 5 bass limit, $500,000. We have a champion.
Don't change that channel.
That's what I'm talking about. Who's going down there? Damn, look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Holy cow. There he is, folks, your champion. $500,000, Richard.
For decades, the state of Arkansas has played host to major bass fishing events. But this week, on Lake Hamilton, one of the state's most popular bodies of water, the richest and most prestigious event of all will take place. From Hot Springs, Arkansas, it's the 2005 Forrest Elwood Championship, presented by Castrol. Hello, everyone. I'm Keith Leibowitz, along with Charlie Evans. Final day of competition here at the Forrest Elwood Championship, where $500,000 is on the line to the winning angler. And we've got 12 left in the field vying for the championship.
We started with 48 of the world's greatest pros. Winning bracket-style competition, they competed head-to-head in round 1. 24 were eliminated. Round 2, same thing. Head-to-head competition got us down here to our final 12.
And I'll tell you what, Larry Nixon, the Chevy Pro, arguably had the toughest draw. He had to go through Bobby Lane in the first round. Bobby with a fantastic rookie season on the Walmart FLW Tour. And then he had to knock off the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year in Greg Hackney, and he did that too.
The veteran has won over $2 million in his career. He could certainly add to that today. But the head-to-head competition is over. We're down to the final 12. All 12 now with the weights wiped out at 0. We'll go out today. The one with the most weight will walk away with the richest purse in bass fishing, $500,000.
And those 12 begin here at the Arkansas Game and Fish Hatchery Ramp in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The winning strategy will make somebody rich. Veteran angler George Cochran thinks he has the upper hand.
Sometimes in a tough tournament, your older guys use their head more than their strength of covering a lot of water, and this tournament's one of them. I think that today, whoever catches one big fish to go with 4 other ones is going to be the winner.
Chevy Pro Larry Nixon has qualified for 7 championships, and he's got a plan too.
You know, I felt like when I found what was going on, I guess it was next to the last day of practice, that I really thought I could win if things worked out. And so if the fish bite today and they'll eat my bait, I've got a chance.
The veterans sound calm. These anglers have their fates in their own hands. We started this tournament 3 days ago with 48 pros. Each angler fished against one competitor for the first 2 days, and the winners advanced. Those 24 were paired off again yesterday, and the winners advanced again. Today, everyone's weight is reset to 0, and our champion will be decided by the heaviest catch.
Should be a good morning. You gotta feel good fishing for $500,000. I don't know how you'd have a bad morning if you were doing that.
And Charlie, with so much money at stake, these guys cannot waste any time on the water today.
They'll take advantage of every second out there. This is as good as it gets. Pure and simple competition. A one-day shootout between 12 anglers for $500,000. Can you imagine fishing for 1 day against 11 guys for $500,000?
Deep in the south on the border of the Plains states, Arkansas is home to the Ouachita Mountains. That's where you'll find Hot Springs and Lake Hamilton, about an hour from the state capital, Little Rock. The lake is only about 7,200 acres, but the jagged shoreline gives everyone plenty of room to fish. And if you're a big bass, this is a troubling sight. A lure coming from the boat of 7-Up Pro JT Kinney. All season long, he has been proving he can hook bass in the most difficult of waters. And just to make it here to the final, he defeated 2 tough pros. Rookie Michael Bennett in the opening round and Mike Hawks yesterday.
Yesterday, JT had the largest stringer of the day, 8 pounds, 11 ounces. He's on some real quality fish.
And JT has started every morning of this tournament under the Highway 7 bridge, and again, it seems to be paying off for him.
That bridge is holding a lot of fish. In the shade there, the cover of the bridge piers, current coming through. It's a natural attraction. He gets a limit here, then he tries to catch a big kicker fish.
And to accentuate your point even more so, Charlie, that has been the strategy of the guys who have moved on and advanced to this final round. Go out, catch yourself a limit, not necessarily the biggest fish, just catch a limit. It's worked for JT so far. You know, on tournament day, anglers usually wake up in a hotel room, but not George Cochran. He actually lives on the lake, and it is definitely proven to be to his advantage. He advanced in round 1 and in round 2. He's already got 1 keeper this morning.
Looking for number 2, throwing a topwater bait. The Strike King, Spitting King, and he's got one hooked up here. Gets this one in the boat. That'll make 2 keepers, and it's still early in the day. George knows this lake better than any of the other finalists. He knows every single brush pile, every boat dock, how much water's under it. He knows it like the back of his hand, and that could be a huge advantage.
Hi, I'm George Cochran. Stay tuned. I'm fishing for $500,000.
This is the business end of a bass boat, the Minn Kota trolling motor silently pulling an angler where he wants to go. In this case, it's Dean Rojas. And like the 11 other anglers out there, Dean has survived 2 matchups already. He eliminated Todd Faircloth in round 1 and Danny Correa yesterday. Dean Rojas had the 2nd highest weight of any pro, in fact, yesterday, and only brought in 4 fish. Like the rest of the field, it doesn't carry over. His weight has been put back to 0.
already has one in the boat, looking for number 2, and he's hooked up here. Quickly into the boat. Caught that one on a S-Pro Dean Rojas signature bronze eye frog, a bait that he designed.
And a bait that he also named a frog green in color. What else? Kermit. Over now to George Cochran, the hometown favorite in Hot Springs, who already has 3 keepers in the boat, and it is early, folks.
One of the baits he's using, a 1/4 ounce War Eagle buzz bait. Red head, white skirt, and he's throwing it in places nobody else would dare throw it, back over cables and behind docks.
And as you can see, it's working. George Cochran, yes, with his 4th fish.
He is getting excited. He's catching quality fish, too. Not just keepers, but 2-pound average. This one here, nearly 2.5 pounds. And caught it on a bank he normally fishes only at night. This is the first time he's fished it during the daytime.
And a little smooch for that one. For a man who's accomplished nearly everything in his career, he would love this title. Here's Larry Nixon, and you can see on his Garmin GPS that he is along the shoreline near the middle of the lake. And making it to the finals was a much longer trip. He had to beat 3-time top 10 finisher this year, Bobby Lane. And then he disposed of the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney.
Larry Nixon and Bobby Lane both brought in quality fish in round 1, bringing in decent weights. Larry thought he was in trouble in round 2, catching only 3 small keepers, but Greg Hackney only had 1 keeper. Larry Nixon dodged the bullet and made it into the final round.
And you know, Charlie, years on the water have sharpened Larry's survival skills, helping him make the most of a tough arena like Lake Hamilton. That's why he's a legend in the sport.
I only live about, I guess 2 hours from Lake Hamilton. Bee Branch, Arkansas. Little bitty town about 60 miles north of Little Rock. You know, I'm not what you'd call a local here. This is one of them lakes that's just not got a good reputation.
Hey guys, make sure.
You know, you just really don't know how much it would mean for me to win the FLW Championship. You know, that trophy's awesome.
I fish too many. I really should, cut way back and not fish as many tournaments as I do.
The $500,000 would be great, be nice, but, the thought of winning another championship at my age would just be tremendous. That was an awesome tournament right there, I'm gonna tell you what. That was actually one of the big Megabucks tournaments that I won. I caught a bunch of good fish.
An icebox full of water.
Oh, my goodness. That's one I can't remember there. That's even older than the other one there.
Look at here. How about some good luck cookies?
I mean, I love it. I'd rather make this kind of a championship than any other tournament that I can think of.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty special. I've been to a lot of lakes in this world. Nobody's ever left me cookies and water.
While Larry is on the road for nearly an 8-month stretch, the family has to make plenty of sacrifices. And Larry is blessed to have a wife that understands.
Well, my wife is everything. I mean, she takes care of 50 acres, a house, horses, dogs, cats. I'm just more patient, I think, than most guys. I don't get in no hurry, and I just like to find me a good area and put the trolling motor down and fish all day. I don't think I would retire because I still love coming and being with the guys, and they're all still good to me, and nobody's mad because I'm hanging around, so heck with them, I'm gonna fish. Just gotta keep on plugging.
He's not just hanging around. This is his 2nd championship appearance in the last 3 years, over $2 million in career earnings.
He could add $500,000 here today if he can get 4 more like that. His first keeper of the day. Caught that on a rattling chub bug by storm. It's a great imitation of an injured minnow on the top of the water. It's a blue-black chrome color that's perfect for the water clarity here on Lake Hamilton. Fish slowly, this top water bait with just the right action will be deadly.
Larry Nixon has got himself on the board. Here's BF Goodrich Pro Chad Grigsby, hoping to catch an FSN camera crew there. He survived a tough round 2 matchup yesterday. He passed Angler of the Year runner-up Toshinari Namiki, and now he has a 1 in 12 chance of winning $500,000. And Chad is on the hunt.
There he is, boys.
Throwing a 1/2 ounce buzz bait with a white grub trailer, putting his 2nd keeper into the boat.
That's how it's supposed to be worked, right there.
Nice job by Grigsby.
Hi, I'm Chad Grigsby. Watch me beat these 11 guys for a cool $500,000.
There is the championship trophy they're all vying for. There are no losers in this competition. In fact, 48th place wins $15,000. This is Alton Jones. He would love to take that trophy home tonight. He has made it through 2 cuts already, including disposing of Kellogg's pro Alvin Shaw, and yesterday he dropped Matt Herron by the wayside. And Jones already has 1 keeper in the boat so far.
Fishing for schooling bass out in open water. He waits till he sees one break, then throws to him. Here's keeper number 2 coming in the boat.
Put that one on the board and see. I think he's bigger than the other ones. The other one kept he out. It'd be another one that's real close to keeping.
Remember, it's got to be 12 inches long.
Oh, yeah.
Here now is George Cochran. He is up near the north end of the lake. Fishing is his 2nd career. The Walmart FLW Tour is his 2nd home.
From Hot Springs, Arkansas, one of the most accomplished anglers in the world, it's George Cochran.
Well, I've been fishing as a pro for 25 years, and before that I worked 10 years on the Missouri Pacific Railroad as a conductor. When I won the World Championship in '87, it enabled me to go ahead and go for my dream and just fish professionally. And so FLW is the tournament trail for anybody that's serious about fishing.
Next year, I'm gonna fish half as many tournaments. I'm gonna fish just FLW tournaments. I'm retiring for bass.
It's all because of FLW. They've raised the scale.
I'm 55 and you win $500,000. Maybe it's time for me to take it easy.
Cha-bing. A lot of people say that I'm awful calm. Maybe it's because I've been doing it so long and I enjoy what I'm doing and I don't get in a hurry. I don't get shook if I lose a big fish. I just keep fishing, and I try and fish as hard the last hour as I do the first hour, and that's how you win tournaments. I might be home late, sweetheart.
Home court advantage, will it bring him the title?
George Cochran with 4 keepers already in the boat. Here is number 5, his limit fish hooked up. If he can just get this one in, this will make the limit, and it'll get him a great start for the day.
Yes! Yeah, that's a good fish.
About a 2.5 pounder. That gets him a good, solid weight in the boat. He has got his foot in the door. He's that close to $500,000.
And we have not seen this kind of fired up emotion from George Cochran all season long, and that could be a kiss worth $500,000. Now over to Fujifilm Pro Wesley Strader looking for his first keeper of the day. And he really got the better of rookie Art Berry in the first round of this competition. And then he took care of Tracy Adams in the semifinal. He was qualified for 7 championships, but this is the first time he's made it to the final round.
Hooked up here, a keeper number 1 headed toward the boat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, first fish.
That one coming on a Zoom green pumpkin horny toad.
He's not big, but Matt might. That's a start anyway. Look there, he got it, didn't he?
Wesley Strader is on the board. Over now to 7-Up Pro JT Kinney, and he's already got 2 keepers in the boat.
Hooked up to number 3.
Oh, that's a nice one.
That was a schooling bass. For those, he throws a Reactions Innovation Vixen walking bait, bone color. Normally he's throwing a squirt worm around the pylons, but when he sees them come up on top, he throws that topwater bait out there. But he's catching fish that are just barely keepers. If he wants to win this $500,000, he's got to find a way to catch bigger fish. He's got to step it up.
That fish goes into live well, and we move on over to John Murray, who's out in open water in the Ozark Trail boat. This is just his 2nd year on the Walmart FLW Tour, and he's making the most of it. He powered his way past Ken Wick in round 1, and fellow Ozark Trail pro Andy Morgan in round 2.
Right on me.
Murray had the most weight on day 1. He's trying to duplicate that feat here on the final day of competition.
Here comes keeper number 3 toward the boat. Schooling bass.
A little better.
2 more for a limit. He is definitely in the hunt.
It's been a very challenging day out there, and the anglers are not sitting still. They are all hunting for fish that could lock up this competition at $500,000. Come on back with us for more on Walmart FLW Outdoors. Welcome back to the world's richest bass fishing tournament, the $1.5 million Forest Elwood Championship. And it's the last chance for pros like Robert Carbis Jr. to cash in. Here's Dean Rojas. He's one of the top anglers on tour and the world record holder for the heaviest single-day stringer. But he says the most important things to him are off the water.
tough, man. This is a tough industry. It's tough. It's a tough way to make a living. Growing up in San Diego is not your traditional fishing town. I knew one of the things I had to do is I had to move because geographically it was on the other side of the world. I would carry around my fishing magazines, and I would get teased a lot, you know, and it was very rough in high school. I did not enjoy high school at all. Heck, it ain't all that bad. I'm fishing, you know. Man, what a day. Catching 45 pounds and 2 ounces in one day is absolutely amazing. You know, being recognized as the world record holder like that, you know, it inherits a lot of the, you know, the stuff that comes with it. I think about it almost every day. That's my lucky duck. It's a duck decoy. You can see he's been shot at. Well, you know that famous saying, you know, behind every good man there's even a better wife, and there's no doubt that's true in my case, because if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't probably see Dean Rojas or know who Dean Rojas is. She is my best friend. We have 2 little boys, Cameron and Austin, that are just, I mean, they're everything to me. In the off season, you know, I'll have 3 months off or so, and that's when I get to spend time with my kids and my wife. And I feel good. I guess this has worked all week to get to this point, and it's everything that I ever worked for my whole career. Yeah! 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 I mean, I'm very emotional when it comes to fishing. I mean, because it's, you know, it's from my heart. I mean, it's all I ever wanted to do. Just got to keep plugging away at it, though. You know, I love to fish, and having the opportunity to fish for $500,000 it's priceless.
A dream come true opportunity for Dean Rojas.
Especially if he can win this event on a bait that he designed. It's hooked up again.
Come on, Kermit, yes!
All right, keeper number 3 into the boat. On a 5/8 ounce S-Pro frog that he designed, it throws better than other frogs and always lands on his belly.
Kermit
the Frog lands another one for Dean Rojas, and through the Chevy cap cam, let's take a look.
Makes a perfect cast right back under that branch where the bass is hiding. He can't stand that frog landing there, jumps up and grabs it, bam, into the boat with his braided line.
That's good. Come on, baby.
Dean Rojas making a run at the title. Working the shoreline in the cast rowboat is Takahiro Omori. He has fished the Walmart FLW Tour now for 10 years, and he is hungry for a victory here. He soundly outfished Rob Kilby, a native of Hot Springs, in the opening round, and then took care of Mickey Bruce yesterday.
Has 1 keeper in the boat already. He's hooked up to number 2.
Keep. Looks like close.
Caught that one on a Zoom brush hog, but he'll have to find bigger fish than that if he hopes to win this event.
Over now to Chip Harrison, and he has consistently been strong on the FLW Tour for 10 years. And here's proof of how talented he is. He beat pedigree pro Steve Kennedy in the first round, and then one of the local favorites, Scott Suggs, was knocked off by Harrison yesterday.
Look, there's a good fish. There's a good fish.
Maybe he'll keep this one hooked up. He's had some bites earlier, hadn't been able to put him in the boat. This one, he's got to get it in to get his day started, get him on the right track.
Yeah, I got one. I got one. Harrison gets a bag. Harrison gets a bag.
He's in good spirits.
Well, if I'd have had any luck at all this morning, that'd be fish number 5 right there with 1 decent one. Instead, it's fish number 1.
But he's got to be relieved to at least be on the board. Back now over to Alton Jones.
There we go. Come on, be a keeper. I think it's a keeper. I don't think it's a big one, but he's a good one. Good keeper. Well, look how skinny that one is. You could read a newspaper through him. That's one that ought to weigh 1.5 pounds that'll barely weigh a pound, I think.
He's caught on a young ribbon-tailed worm. It's just a keeper. He's got to catch bigger fish. And the one angler who can catch some quality fish will walk away from here with a check for $500,000.
Hi, I'm Alton Jones. Stay tuned for more from the Forest Wood Championship.
We're back on Lake Hamilton in Hot Springs, Arkansas. 12 anglers left in the Forest Wood Championship are all on the hunt for big bass. But none are going to find the monster we saw caught on Lake Toho. That's why it wins the Snickers Big Bass Award for the season.
Hang on tight. Whoa.
Co-angler Richard Lewitsky weighed in this 11-pound during our second tour stop. He won the big bass prize, and now he gets an additional $5 grand from Snickers for having the biggest bass of the season. That fish would be a dream come true for Dean Rojas, who has traveled about 12 miles now searching for quality fish.
He has 4 keepers in the boat already, needs 1 more for the tournament limit. Still throwing that top water frog that he designed. It's worked good so far, and he's hooked up again.
Yeah, number 5.
That's got to be a relief, having a limit in the boat.
Number 5.
Now he's got to find a big kicker fish.
Ooh. He's not big, but I'll take him.
Dean Rojas needs more fish, especially given the way this man, George Cochran, is landing them. 6 keepers so far, and he's still got time to find another big one.
He can only weigh in 5. Each time he catches his keeper now, he'll try to call one of his smaller fish. He's hooked up here again.
Come on.
Everything that George is doing today seems to be turning out right. This is a quality fish into the boat.
Woo! What a moment on his home water. He's sensing the 500 grand.
I've got to call one of these dang things.
He's won 2 classics in his career. He's on the verge of winning the Forrest Elwood Championship. And winning this event means you are the world's champion at the top of your game. So it was a moment for the history books when a rookie won it last year. And that's today's Fuji Fine Picks Photo Flashback. In 2004, Luke Clausen was just 26 years old when he hoisted the $500,000 first prize at the Forrest Elwood Championship on Logan Martin Lake in Birmingham, Alabama. Back now to Larry Nixon, who already beat 2 of the youngest anglers in this tournament, Bobby Lane and Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, Greg Hackney. But that was yesterday. It's been about an hour now, though, since Larry Nixon has caught a fish. He has got to get it going if he's going to catch up with his good friend George Cochran. He is hooked up here.
He's got 2 in the boat. This will be number 3 if he can get it in. Fishing under the bridge, just like J.T. Kinney. Taking his time.
I'm here.
Number 3 over the side.
You can see a lot of boats out there watching Larry Nixon, one of the most popular anglers in the history of the sport. That fish will go into the line. Well, it will keep Nixon on the board again. Here now is Anthony Gagliardi, also working the bridge pilings. He finished the regular season ranked 3rd, and normally a dangerous opponent to the other anglers, but this lake is humbling most everyone today. Gagliardi weighed just 2 fish yesterday, but the guy he was facing, Zell Rowland, 0. Gagliardi moved on, and he's got 2 keepers in the boat so far today.
Number 3 hooked up and on the way to the boat. Finesse fishing under the bridge with a green pumpkin finesse worm 1/8 ounce spot remover head. 8-pound test line. That is light line fishing, but he's got to catch some bigger fish.
He might make it.
Gagliardi will take him to the measuring stick, and yes, it looks like he will measure out. Here's Chad Grigsby, and he's racing the clock trying to find his 3rd keeper. And like many anglers, he is using a buzzbait, which is a topwater lure.
The one he chooses is a 1/2 ounce by Venom Bait Company. Black skirt with a white grub trailer moving it quickly across the top of the water. It creates a lot of vibration and noise and attracts fish. A very effective bait for this time of the year on Lake Hamilton.
And now Chad Grigsby is hooked up with keeper number 3.
That'll work. Yeah, get in the boat.
Whoa! That fish almost bounced out of the boat. With $500,000 on the line, you don't want to lose one.
They're jumping in the boat now.
Chad Grigsby will pocket that as fish number 3. For one angler, this lake will be a triumph. For all of them, it's a trial. Time is running out, but there's more action ahead on Walmart FLW Outdoors. The Forrest Elwood Championship trophy is the most coveted in all of bass fishing. It takes an entire season to get here, but now they've got just 1 day to win it. Fuji Pro Wesley Strader is making the most of the many docks he's fishing on this lake. It's a technique Chevy Pro Dion Hipton demonstrates in today's Fishing 101, presented by Lay's.
Here on Lake Hamilton in the FLW Championship this week, a lot of the guys are fishing boat dogs. The heat's just way up there. The water temperature's in the high 80s, low 90s in places. The reason they fish boat docks is because it provides a lot of good shade. And a big bass, overall, the bigger he gets, the better little hiding spots he finds throughout his life. The way I like to chase them around those boat docks is with a tube bait like this, because it's a very castable bait. It skips a lot easier. And I just make a little roll cast to kind of skip it back up under that dock. It also makes that look like a minnow when he sees that right across the surface of the water. But the whole key in skipping it back under there is just getting it a little bit further than maybe the guy in front of you did. So hopefully next time you're out, this will help you catch a few more fish when you're fishing boat docks in the summer.
Thank you, Dion. Now back to Wesley Strader.
And a perfect cast under that dock. Back into the shade.
Was on there.
Working it real slow, trying to track the bite back there, hiding under the dock. There it is.
Come out from there. Swim out, swim out.
He's got one hooked up, but he's got to be able to get it back out of there.
In the net. Oh, you're not gonna believe this. He come off. Dang it! That's about a 2.5 pounder.
Oh, that has got to hurt Wesley Strader. A fish like that could change everything for him, as it could for John Murray, who's still fishing in open water.
He's using a Yamamoto skinny Cinco, rigging it drop shot style like they do out west on 8-pound test line. This is finesse fishing down in brush piles. The key to drop shots, fishing it really, really slow. Nice and easy, jiggling that bait up and down, tantalizing those fish. He's got one hooked up here. 3 in the boat already. Here is keeper number 4 into the boat. Again, keeps him in the game, not very good size.
Oh, he's not big, but I think he measures. I think he ate my drop shot weight on top of everything else. He's been caught a few times.
John Murray staying in the hunt. Meanwhile, back over to Alton Jones looking for fish number 4.
This is gonna be a keeper. Get in the boat. It's number 4. Still not very big, but you know what? We're within a 4 or 5 pounder of having a chance. That's all you can ask yourself. Be within 1 bite of a major championship. Please, Lord, let it happen.
I know 11 other anglers that are saying the exact same thing right now. Over to BF Goodrich Pro, Chad Grigsby trying to make it happen, and he has just minutes left to do it. Swings another one into the boat.
He's not very long, but he's big.
Real good chunky fish again, still sticking with that buzz bait.
12, isn't he?
That trailer on the back of it seems to be his key to getting bites, but he's got to catch some bigger fish. The key to it, get one more that's a monster.
Back now to JT Kinney, who's got some fish on board, but they're small ones. He's looking for a kicker.
Oh, get it, get it, get it. Oh!
Unbelievable, he missed a shot there.
That was him. Golly bum.
This is not the first time we have seen JT Kinney drop the ball when a tournament was on the line. Earlier this year on Lake Toho, he had a shot to win the event, but 7 consecutive misses sealed his fate.
Oh, get it, get it, get it.
Reoccurring nightmare for JT Kinney. Again, he missed a monster fish here that could have won him $500,000.
It's 500 grand right there.
Unfortunately, he's not exaggerating. That could have been the winning fish, but we won't know until the weigh-in. There is just enough time for one last shot at the big ones, and these anglers are going to use every second they can. The final cast when Walmart FLW Outdoors continues. There are just minutes left for the world's best 12 anglers to lay claim to $500,000 here in the greatest show in bass fishing, the Forest Hillwood Championship. Over to Anthony Gagliardi fishing out of the Lowry's boat. This would be keeper number 5 if it gets it to the boat.
All important to get that 5th fish into the boat. A limit makes you feel really good, but after that, you got to go find some quality fish if you're going to win this event. All right, number 5 into the boat with a rooting section in the back, but it's not a big fish.
Thousands of dollars for every spot they move up in the standings, so definitely every fish counts.
It's hard to believe that a fish like that will get you that excited.
Anthony Gagliardi excited to have his limit, but like you said, Charlie, he does need that kicker. Here's Alton Jones, and he is hooked up again.
Number 5 in the boat right there.
That's his limit, and he's in a hurry.
7-Up Pro JT Kinney is also calling it quits.
Well, that's it, boys. Better luck next year.
I'm sure he'll be thinking about the one that got away all the way back to the launch ramp.
Our 12 finalists gave it everything they had out there on the lake today. There's nothing left in the tank. It was all left out on the lake. For some of them to think about missed opportunities during the day. For others, to second-guess their game plan. But for one man, George Cochran, it's a chance to pat himself on the back for a job well done.
Well, we got 5 minutes to go in. I fished my heart out. I caught every fish that hit that I had on. And once I caught 2 or 3 good ones, I got on a roll, and I fished as good as I can fish. And I'm excited to see if I win.
One angler will win $500,000 today. It's the richest purse in bass fishing, but could be just a taste of things to come, as legendary Ranger Boats founder Forrest L. Wood tells us in today's FLW Fishtail, presented by B.F. Goodrich.
The way people can learn to be pro fishermen is to fish a lot. And time on the water is important. A lot of people can't afford a lot of time on the water unless they have some means of income, of course. And after Walmart stepped in to be a sponsor and all of the other great companies across the country, the environment has changed till it's a very viable occupation these days. There are so many opportunities today for young people to grow up to be pro fishermen. The last 10 years have been great, but in my opinion, the next 10 years are going to be greater still.
We need to get in there and we need to get him loaded.
Getting all 12 boats out of the water is a production. After rushing to get back to the check-in, anglers are forced to slow down and wait their turn. Once they're out of the water, they join a parade, complete with police escort. Traffic is blocked off in Hot Springs while the athletes and their high-powered rigs pass by, and they're not heading for a weigh-in tent. They're going here to the Hot Springs Convention Center and Summit Arena, and thousands of fans are packed inside. And when the anglers take the stage, it feels more like a rock concert than a sporting event. A standing room only crowd inside. Now let's go to our weigh-in host, Charlie Evans.
Let's get started. We bring out number 1 on stage, George Cochran from Hot Springs, Arkansas. He'll set our mark to beat. He fished in the field in a streamboat today, and he will be our tournament leader. His weight, 2 pounds, 4 ounces, 2-4 for George Cochran. He's our leader right now. He's on top of the heap. Lots of excitement yet to come. We'll be back right after this.
During the 2005 season of the Walmart FLW Tour, our anglers maintained better than a 98% live release rate. And for meeting that goal, Energizer will donate $25,000 to the Children's Miracle Network on behalf of their Catch and Release Award. A crowd of thousands is on hand for this final weigh-in of the richest tournament in bass fishing, the 2005 Forrest L. Wood Championship. Local favorite George Cochran has set the early benchmark, and the crowd loved it. Now it's time for Chip Harrison to step to the scales. But he cannot match the weight of Cochran, and Chip Harrison is eliminated. JT Kinney steps up with 4 pounds and 13 ounces, and the 7-Up Pro takes the lead and sets the mark for those to follow. Chevy Pro Larry Nixon is next. A great tournament for him, though, ends with a 3-fish sack weighing 3 pounds and 2 ounces. Another formidable opponent goes down when Takahiro Amori puts his 4-fish bag on the scale. His weight matches Nixon's. But then the excitement picks up. Alton Jones takes the stage, and he's got a 5 bass limit. It weighs 4 pounds, 14 ounces, and Jones takes the lead and becomes the man the other anglers have to beat. Now, Dean Rojas takes his turn.
We'll need one more. There's his 5 bass limit. We're looking for 4:15 to knock Alton Jones out of the lead and out of the tournament. Let's see if he does it. He has 5 fish here that weigh 5 pounds, 4 ounces, 5-4. Squeaked into the lead, but you're out of fish.
And Alton Jones is out of the running. Chad Grigsby steps up with a 5 bass limit as well. It weighs 6 pounds, 7 ounces, and he claims the lead for himself and eliminates Dean Rojas. Then, George Cochran makes his second trip to the scales, trying to recapture the lead.
He will need 4 pounds and 3 ounces, 4-3, to take over the lead. So we have 3 fish here. The raw weight for these 3 fish is 6 pounds and 2 ounces. George Cochran fishing in the field of streamboat. He is in the lead, and now Chad Grigsby has been eliminated.
George Cochran takes the lead with a total of 7 pounds and 14 ounces. What a dramatic start to the most anticipated weigh-in of the season. The veteran takes the lead on his home turf, but he knows the competition is fierce. Wesley Strader has waited a long time to be in the finals. Anthony Gagliardi finished 3rd last year. He wants to do better this time. And J.T. Kinney narrowly lost the Angler of the Year title. A win here would be redemption. The final weigh-in, the crowning of our champion, is next. Welcome back to the final minutes of the 2005 Forest Elwood Championship. Right now, hometown favorite George Cochran has the lead. If he can hold it, he will win $500,000. But this thing is far from over. Every angler has given it all he's got. John Murray makes his second trip to the scales to weigh in his 3rd and final fish, but it is not enough. With 5 pounds, 4 ounces, he is eliminated. Wesley Strader plays his hand, putting the last of his fish on the scale, but they are not enough either. Anthony Gagliardi weighs his last fish, but he needs more. Gagliardi is out. And so is Robert Carbus Jr. His total weight cannot top George Cochran's. That leaves J.T. Kinney to challenge Cochran's lead. The young 7-Up pro up against the veteran. JT was on fish today, consistent, but without one big kicker fish that would give him a clear advantage. And then at the end of the day, the one that got away.
Oh, get it, get it, get it. Oh!
A potentially devastating loss for JT Kinney. He can only sit and think, what if? For George Cochran, a win here would be the pinnacle of a long and storied career. Fishing his home waters, the conditions were perfect for Cochran. And while he kept bringing solid keepers into the boat, other anglers could not find any. In fact, it seemed like the Lake Hamilton bass were rooting for the local hero. And speaking of heroes, the tournament's namesake, legendary Ranger Boats founder Forrest Elwood takes the stage for the final weigh-in. The energy is amazing. Thousands of cheering fans, an entire season of effort. The biggest prize in fishing on the line.
George, let's see what you've got in your bag. All right, George Cochran, again, fishing in the field in streamboat. This will be his limit fish. And he's reaching like he's got one. He does have a 50 fish, 5 bass. 5 fish for George Cochran. Here is 50 fish number 5. It weighs in at 2 pounds, 5 ounces, give him a total of 10 pounds and 3 ounces. Step closer, George. JT Kinney is sitting at 4-3. You'll need a huge fish, 5 pounds and 6 ounces.
There's big ones out there, you know that, right?
Yes, I know.
All right, well, let's see what we got.
George Cochran, you are
What an unbelievable finish. One day on the water, $500,000, and George Cochran takes the title in his own backyard. The crowd is ecstatic, and there are a few tears coming from George's wife as well. Here is a look at the final standings. An incredible effort by all of these anglers, and they've all got big-time paydays to show for it. Chad Grigsby in second place.
George, on behalf of all the Walmart associates throughout the world, it's an honor and a privilege to recognize and congratulate you this year as the 2005 winner of the Forest Elwood Championship. Congratulations.
After an illustrious career, George Cochran certainly deserves this reward. $500,000 and a place in the record books as the 2005 Forest Elwood Championship winner. This has been an incredible Walmart FLW Tour season, with a new generation of great young anglers and outstanding performances from the legends of the sport. Men and women from around the world came together at 7 of nature's grandest arenas. The anglers all had one thing in common: the love of the sport. The challenges they faced were daunting: extreme weather, exhausting competition, and elusive prey. But what made it an exceptional season were the human dramas, the heartbreak of lost chances, and the triumph of historic victories. This was the Walmart FLW Tour at its finest, building memories and making dreams come true. And the finale, George Cochran, decades in the game, already a legend. But the greatest success comes on his home lake, $500,000, and no one deserves it more. For Charlie Evans and all of us at Walmart FLW Outdoors, I'm Keith Leibowitz. Thanks for watching. My